This tutorial describes how to use the Metadata Management module of SAP BusinessObjects Information Steward 4.0 to browse and search for metadata objects and to view relationships of objects across metadata integrator sources. Before users can use metadata management, the Information Steward Administrator group must perform 3 tasks: configure the metadata integrators, schedule or run the integrators, and provide access to the data steward users. The first administrative task is to configure the metadata integrators. To view any existing integrators, log on to the Central Management Console and go to the Information Steward area. Expand the Metadata Management node and select Integrator Sources. In this case, there are already 3 integrator sources configured. If you want to add a new integrator source, select Manage, New, Integrator Source. Complete the necessary information and click Save. In this case, we'll click Cancel. The second administrative task is to schedule the integrator, which will populate the Metadata Management main directory page. Choose the integrator and select Actions, Schedule. Enter the necessary parameters and click Schedule. In this case, we'll click Cancel because the integrators have already been scheduled. The third administrative task is to add the Metadata Management Data Steward users. Go to the Users and Groups section of the Central Management Console. Select the Metadata Management users. Select the Metadata Management Data Steward and click Actions, Add Members to Groups. Use the usual procedure to add members to a group and click OK. For now, we'll just click Cancel. Now that the administrative tasks are complete, we'll assume you are a user who has logged on to Information Steward to use metadata management to better understand your data. The Metadata Management Directory page of SAP BusinessObjects Information Steward shows the following source connections: data insight connections for data profiling, and integrator sources such as business intelligence, data modeling, and data integration. The Business Intelligence Source Connection shows objects such as universes, reports, and folders. The number in parentheses indicates the number of instances for that type. The Data Integration Source Connection shows objects such as projects, jobs, and workflows. Objects in the Data Insight connections display in the Metadata Management directory if they were added to a project in the Data Insight tab. The Data Insight connection pulls a subset of metadata according to the tables used in Data Insight. In the Data Insight connections, you can view profile results and scores for tables. These actions are only available for Data Insight connections, not for metadata integrators. The Common Warehouse MetaModel Metadata Integrator collects data modeling metadata about objects such as catalogs, schemas, and tables from the CWM relational package. Click the source or connection, or the source name, to view all of the object types in the source or connection. In this case, we'll click the Business Intelligence Source Oracle Sales RapidMart. We'll scroll down to see all of the metadata object types in the source. I'll return to the directory by using the breadcrumbs navigation. You can also click an object type name under a source to display more information about it. If an object type contains other object types, click each object type name to display its information. For example, we'll click Reports, and then click to select the average delivery time report. Here we can see the queries, columns, and universe objects it contains. You can also search for an object that might exist in any integrator source, such as name, description, annotation, keyword or synonym, or custom attributes. For example, I'll return to the directory and search for revenue. I'll adjust the bar so we can see more of the search results. I can select an item on the left, such as reports, to filter the results by. Or I can click the drop-down list next to the search icon to perform more advanced search. In this case, I'll close the advanced search and just select reports from the simple search and open the revenue report. I'll close the search results so we can see more of the report. When you analyze metadata, you often analyze relationships between objects. For example, you may want to know where the object in a report comes from. I can select an object, for example, organizational code, and then select View Lineage. I can see the source fields and scroll right to see how they are combined to create the universe object. I can roll over the objects in each column to see its associated table, schema, and mapping expression. I'll scroll back to the source tables. Because the source tables were added to a project in Data Insight, I can see the scores of their profile results. I can select View Profile Results for more information. This information will help me to understand whether I can trust the data and what might need to be done to improve it. You can view the relationships in a tabular format. I'll close the lineage window and return to the directory. Another common way to explore the relationships between metadata objects is to view the impact an object would have on downstream objects. Under Data Site Connections, I'll drill down into the tables of the sales application. I'll select the V Individual Customer table and select View Impact. I can scroll to see what universe objects, columns, and reports are impacted by this table. This is a fairly complicated diagram, so I may choose to click Edit Settings, clear the display intermediate objects. So now I just see the source and target. For now, I'll close the View Impact window. You can manually define relationships between metadata objects. For example, you may want to indicate that the product ID in the product table is the primary key and the product ID in the sales order detail table is the foreign key. First, I need to choose the columns in the product table. Then I need to choose the product ID column and select Add to Object Tray. The object tray is a temporary holding place, like a clipboard. The 1 in parentheses indicates there is now one object in the object tray. Next, I need to return to the tables, choose the columns in the sales order detail table, choose the product ID column, and select Add to Object Tray. Now if I open the object tray, select the checkboxes for both columns and click Establish Relationship, I can select an existing relationship or create a new relationship. In this case, I'll select Primary to Foreign Key and click OK. You can also add or edit an annotation, view the data, Or if the object has been profiled using the Data Insight tab, you can view the profile and score. You can also show the attributes. You can export relational objects from a data integration, relational database, or data modeling source in the Information Steward repository. To export an item, you must first add it to the object tray. For example, I've added the check table from the data modeling group to the object tray. If I select Export to Universe, it will create a CWM XML file that contains a subset of the relational objects that I can import into the business intelligence platform to create a universe, including a database, catalog, schema, or table. If I select Export to CWM, it will create a general-purpose Common Warehouse Modeling XML file that includes all relational object types. Finally, let's explore the Open menu on the main directory page. If you belong to the Metadata Management Administrators group, you can define a custom attribute, specify possible values for it, and associate it with an object type. Then users that belong to any of the Metadata Management or Data Insight user groups can view and search on those custom attributes. For example, I want to add the custom attribute Universe version for all reports I collected. I'll scroll to the right till I can see the Apply To column and click in the main cell. I'll scroll down until I can see Universes and select it to add the custom attribute to it and click OK. I'll save changes and close the Custom Attributes window. I'll drill down to the Business Intelligence Universes, choose the eFashion universe and select Show Details. Click Edit Custom Attributes and manually enter the custom attribute value. Which now displays. From the Open menu, you can also display custom reports. These custom reports help you perform analysis and answer typical business questions. This tutorial provides a high-level overview only. For more information, refer to the Information Steward User Guide and Administrator Guide.